Okay, guys, so today's message is going to be something very, very specific that I have seen in the playoffs, especially the MLB playoffs. I just watched the wild card games last week, like I was talking about earlier. And something that I really, really notice is the power that us as catchers hold. Okay. And today's topic is going to be called the catcher's role in shifting and killing momentum. If you guys have played this game and you understand baseball, you know that it is a game of momentum. Think of, when the other team gets two batters on right away, just two doubles like that, you're like, oh, this is going to be a long inning. That is like that energy and momentum, because every big inning happens because one team rides a wave of energy. Okay. It's like hit after hit. Then their nine hole comes up. He lays down a bunt. He's on first. You guys make an error. The moment's too big. And you're like, oh my gosh. So confidence and execution, while other struggles to stop it. But as catchers, we have the power to shift or kill that momentum physically, mentally, and emotionally. And we honestly, guys, are one of the last lines of defense for our team in those moments, whether it's been a 10-run inning or think about the moments of it's bottom of the ninth, you're up by one and you need to shut the team out. You go out to defense and they get that first runner on. And it's like we got no outs, tying runs already on first. Okay, what can we do? You know what I mean? This is going to be on you. So you are now the first line of defense, and you can be the last line if it's like, this inning's gone on for 30 minutes. This is brutal. We need to stop it. Things like that. Okay. So we're gonna talk about this topic, and I'm gonna give you guys some real life examples, and go through the video analysis of three big plays I saw in the MLB playoffs. And so stick around to the end to make sure you watch those because that's going to be very important. But let me go through this framework so we understand what momentum really means. Momentum is the energy and confidence that builds during a game, the chain reaction of small wins. Okay, so again, maybe the other team lays down a bunt and it's their worst hitter, and your third baseman fumbles it. Now he's on first. Okay, no outs. And you're like, shoot, that would have been good to get that batter out. Now it's top of the order, and that runner steals, and then the guy hits a base hit. Just like that, they've scored a run. That's energy, that's momentum. Okay. When a team has momentum, they're loose, confident, and everything seems to fall their way. We've all been there as catchers where you're like, man, just another double. This kid just hit a home run. Oh, base hit. Oh, we just made an error. Okay. But when a catcher kills momentum, they reset that energy. One play can silence a crowd. Always remember that. One play from you can silence a crowd. Settle a pitcher, flip the pressure back onto their dugout. Things like that are great tools in order to now put that other team on the defense, and honestly kill that momentum. Okay. A huge momentum killer could be like a double play. All right. Think about that. Uh, Again, let's say it's bottom of the ninth, you're up by one run and you're on defense. They get that first runner on, and then you guys flip a double play. It's like momentum killed. Now they pretty much have to hit a Han Solo home run to win that, or get a base hit and move that guy over. So it's going to be really tough. Or maybe you throw out that runner that gets on at second base, and now they have one out, nobody on, all because you threw that lead runner out. That kills momentum, and you can control that as a catcher. Okay. Here's the three ways catchers physically kill momentum. Okay, and this is what I'm gonna go over in the video. Blocking in high stakes situations. We all know what that means. Stopping a run from scoring on a wild pitch is one of the biggest momentum killers in baseball. There's a difference in wild pitch and a pass ball. Wild pitch means you can't really control it. That's like an unblockable ball. But guess what? In the big situation, no one cares what it is. You have to stop that ball. And I have a really cool video to go over that with you guys today. Um, it's not flashy, but blocking balls in this scenario or just stopping wild pitches will save runs. It keeps your pitcher composed and shows leadership through your execution. Okay. We all know in the big situations when you block a ball, everyone in the crowd is like, great stop, Rollins, great stop, Dakota. Heck yeah. And you feel that energy all because you just blocked a silly ball, right? That you've done a million times. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, that's what I should be doing. Another one, so this is the second one, is going to be stealing strikes and pressure counts. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. Perfectly framed borderline pitch with the game on the line flips everything. This arguably kills more momentum than anything because it demeans the batter and he gets pissed. Okay. He's like, now he's focused on, that wasn't a strike blue. His approach is thrown off, all because you stole a freaking strike. That one call can end an inning, strand runners, or save a pitcher from a walk. And in those big time moments, walks absolutely kill you. Okay. It's so tough. When I say kill you, I mean like pure momentum. Now, this is the third one, and this is situational, but throwing out the tying or go ahead run or any like lead runner to start an inning in any general speaking. A perfect transfer, quick footwork, and a strike to second can instantly erase momentum. Instantly. You don't just get an out, but you take away the other team's energy. Truly, you do in the right scenario, because they're trying to make stuff happen and they're gambling by stealing and they want that gamble to pay off. So when you cut that down, they're going to be like, we shouldn't have done that. I wish we had that one back. They can't really control if you steal a strike. Like that's out of their control. They can't control if you block a ball and save a run. But running, they're trying to make something happen. So that arguably will cut deeper than anything. These are the moments that make everyone in the dugout believe um, on your side now or on the field. Okay. Are you guys following along so far? Is this making sense?
Yes.
Cool,
Yep.
cool. Okay. Another topic I want to go over within this is the mental and situational side of killing momentum. So we just went over the three physical ones that kill the most momentum. Obviously, in the physical, I wanted to say this. There could be like you pick up a bunt and throw it down to second for a double play, and your second baseman throws it to first. Like, yeah, that'd technically be physical. But that's more mental to me in that big situation because you knew what you should do with that ball, if that makes sense. So now we're going to go over the mental and situational side of killing momentum. Not all momentum shifts show up in the score box. Okay. The best catchers kill momentum before it even starts. Those three physical ones I talked about are probably things you're going to get praised for by the team or by the coach if you execute. So if you have a game-saving block, everyone's gonna be like, "Dude, good job. You honestly saved our season or whatever if it's a playoff game or if you stole a strike, they're gonna be like, Dakota won us that game." These mental ones, just disclaimer, buyer beware, you're probably gonna get no recognition for. And that's okay. Because again, back to that scripture, let your light shine. And we need to do that in all scenarios, okay? And we're not doing it just to seek other people's, approval or appraisal, things like that. So these mental ones are, we're going to start with pitch calling and game management. These are things that before momentum happens, you can kill by doing this right. Calling the right pitch at the right time, anticipating the hitter's intent can completely change an inning. Again, let's say that nine-hole batter's up and you're like, he's up in the box. I think he's going to bunt. And you tell your third baseman, hey, 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 come up, come up. And then he bunts it right to the third baseman and get an out. That's on you. Okay, good job. And no one's probably gonna be like, "Good job, man, great call," because they shouldn't have to say that, right? That's your job. You should be controlling the defense. You may never get credit for it, but controlling the flow of the game starts with you. Okay, when you go out to that inning and then they hit two doubles in a row, there's something in there that you probably could have controlled better of that flow of that inning, the pitcher's tempo, execution that you could have helped. So it could start with you and it can end with you. Okay. Second one, so option number one was pitch calling and game management. Second one's going to be defensive awareness. Okay. Adjusting your infield or shifting outfielders, like we just talked about with the bunt, just before contact can prevent extra bases or runs. Let's say you know their four hole has pulled the ball every single time that day and you want to go inside on him. Let your left fielder know, like, hey, shade back and probably towards the line. We don't want to give up a double down the line right here. Um, Things like that. And then guess what? Your outfielder gets there in perfect timing, barely before he has to dive. And it's like, oh, it's a game of inches. So if he was where he was before, that's probably a double. that can be on you as well. Recognizing when to visit your pitcher and calm them down keeps the team in control. This is very, very, very important. I'm probably going to do a whole separate series or just video on this of when to call a when to have a meeting with your pitchers because when you do these right and you don't get a lot of them, you get eight of them. At least when I was in college and in pro, you get eight. And when you do a pitcher swap, that counts as one. So your coach isn't going to want you just wasting, mound visits for no reason because, he's going to want to save some if you need to swap the pitchers at some point. But knowing when to do these and as you feel that energy of a big inning coming is very important. Very, very important. And it can reset your pitcher, your defense, everything. Um, if you sense something's off. And that's why it's important for your coach to trust you and you be mature so he knows that, okay, if Dakota's going out there, it's for a good reason. He sees something we don't. And then now you guys get two outs right after that. And it's like, hey, good usage of that. Okay. So that's that awareness. Now, third one in this category of the mental side of what we can do to cut off that energy is body language and presence. Again, goes back to our scripture we talked about as well. Um, but everyone watches the catcher, umpires, pitchers, coaches, and teammates feed off of your body language, dude. They feed off of it. I love playing other teams when the catcher's complaining. He's got his head up and he's just like shaking his head because he didn't throw someone out. I'm like, oh, we're gonna swim in your head all day, dude. As a catcher, you got to be stoic and you have to be calm. Okay. Shoulders back, calm expression, confident movements always. Even if things are going your way, going bad, act like you're the best catcher in the world back there. I'm just like, okay, next play, whatever. Keynote, no one really cares if you make a mistake. No one cares. It's such a game of failure that no one's like judging you off of one mistake. You really are judged off of what you do after that. So even after mistakes, how you recover determines how everyone else responds. Just remember that. How the catcher recovers determines how the rest of your teams are going to respond. Okay. Leaders don't just respond to momentum, they create it. So we don't just want to cut off momentum, guys, from the other team. We want to cut it off and take momentum for your team. And that's going to come from you back there. Okay. Um, so I have this little chart here too. I'm gonna just talk about it very simply. Uh, but pretty much the framework of how elite catchers control momentum is there's there's about five different traits I'm gonna go over, and in each trait we're gonna say what that actually looks like and why it matters. Okay. So the first trait will be anticipation. Okay. What does that look like? Thinking one pitch ahead, understanding the situation. Okay, how can we anticipate what's going to happen? Their fastest runner is up to bat. They need him on. He's not the best hitter. Anticipate a bunt could happen. Very, very well could. Okay. That's what it looks like for anticipation. Thinking one pitch ahead. Why that matters is because if you're ready before the play even happens, it's gonna just feel like another rep in practice and you're gonna execute. Okay. So you can anticipate all you want, but if you don't execute, it doesn't matter. That leads me into the second trait, which is execution. Okay, what does that look like? Smooth blocking, quick transfer, perfect ascension to the glove or to the ball when receiving. Okay, that's what that looks like. Execution, picking up the bunt on or the bunt with your bare hand, you know, getting rid of it quick, accurate, execute. Why does that matter? Because it's consistent, repeatable actions under pressure, and that's going to show the other team like that dude's legit back there. Okay. Third one is composure. Okay. Calm. What does it look like? Calm, confident demeanor, even in chaos. Even if you don't want to be there. Even if you have lunch waiting for you, you're like, we're gonna get mercy ruled. I don't even want to play. No. You go to the end until the game is over. Why does that matter? It keeps the team grounded and focused. In the games in the middle of the season where you show your true colors, even if you're getting mercy ruled, that's going to help your team come later in the season when they look on you, in those moments where momentum could build up against you. They'll be like, no, we got a good catcher back there. He's not going to give up. So no games for nothing. Just know that. Next trait, fourth one, communication. Controlling tempo, adjusting defense, calming pitchers. That's what that looks like. Controlling the tempo. Okay. Hey, our pitcher is going too fast and he's not throwing a strike. Tell him to relax. Or, our outfielder just dove for the ball. He missed it. He isn't even in position yet, and our pitcher's already trying to go at the next batter. Control the tempo, adjust the defense, calming pitchers. Why does it matter? Shows leadership and command. Okay. Your team needs to know you are the driver of this ship. You are. Okay. They need to know that. And if they question that, then that means they're not respecting you. So fifth one, final one, body language, guys. Strong posture, no panic, eyes up, things like that. We're not looking down, we're not upset. That's what that looks like. Why it matters influences how everyone else feels and performs. Just how it is, just how it goes. Okay. That's just how energy works. That's how the momentum works. It falls upon you. So, takeaway, momentum in baseball can shift in seconds. Okay. It doesn't take minutes. It can shift in seconds. It can shift in one pitch, one play. And catchers are the ones who decide which way it goes. You guys truly are. There's energy every inning, and it's either going to be your team having it or their team. So you need to decide how to take it from them and put it onto your team if you don't have it already. Whether it's smothering a pitch in the dirt, sticking a borderline strike to, steal strike to ring him up, throwing out a tying run, or quietly calling the perfect pitch in a 3-2 count. Like that, that this is our pitcher's best pitch and we've set this up. Boom. Every moment is a chance to control the game. Be the player who kills chaos, be the catcher who changes the game. Okay. That is the main message, guys. Now I am going to share my screen and go over those three plays, right? So we can see exactly how momentum was just absolutely destroyed here. Um, okay, so here we're going to look at. Can you guys see my screen?
Hmm.
Cool. You could see. Awesome. So in this series, this is a wild card series. This is game three of the series, meaning win or go home. Each team had one win. Tigers catcher, this is Dylan Dingler. I think he's one of the most underrated catchers in MLB. I feel like he's really consistent. I always see clips of him. He has one of the best pop times as far as velocity. He's one of the highest dudes of velocity throwing down, which is awesome. So this is the Tigers playing the Guardians. I was watching this game live, and pretty much just the key scenario is I think the Tigers were up 2-0. Guardians just scored a run. There's no outs, and then Jose Ramirez goes to steal a base. So he's the tying run. This is way late in the game. Win or go home, and he steals, right? Because he needs to get to second. Just what I talked about. Look how smooth. We're going to play this in real time. Look how smooth Dylan Dingler stays, the positions he gets in. First off, we're going to play it through, then I'm going to do the synopsis.
He's gonna stay.
First off, what a reaction on a breaking ball. Got it through it. Look at that fire. Look at the tag, too. He knew it right then and there. Bias, no look tag. Saw the helmet coming.
First off, how cool is it he tagged him through the helmet? That's so cool, huh? Like literally gets the helmet out of there on the tag and hits him. Okay. So, key things is how calm he stays. He's anticipating, okay? Because look where he's looking. Before he gets into position, he's staring at first base. Okay, Jose Ramirez, not a slow guy, steals bases. He's going to want to steal. Boom. So now Dylan's getting into his best position here. So he's like, boom. Oh, runner right here. Runner took off. So now he's adjusting. Okay, he kicked out. And then he's like, wait, no, the runner is going. Brings it back in. And then he stays so fluid. He's actually not trying to be that quick. If you watch in real time, he just is getting a transfer, guys, and putting a good throw on the bag to give himself a chance. Okay, this was 88 miles per hour down at second, which is very, very fast for a catcher. Um, his pop time was a 192, so he kind of takes a little bit longer to get the ball out. but he was making sure he was efficient. He wasn't trying to be too quick. His exchange time was a 0.67, which is pretty decently quick, but for MLB guys, they're usually like 0.53. So exchange time a little slow, velocity very high, pop time pretty good. And this is in a big scenario. Funny thing after this is Jose Ramirez was just sitting in the dugout. It kept showing him after, and he was just like shaking his head because he wished he had that one back because they just started to build momentum. Guess what? Tigers win this game. Now they move on in the playoffs. All because of this throwdown gets them an out. So now the Tigers are still up 2-1, and they ended up, I think, getting the next two batters. So they just killed a big inning. Huge, huge, guys. Perfect throw on the base. He's fluid. He doesn't try to be too quick. He doesn't pull the ball. This is an MLB catcher, guys, so they're going to do everything almost perfectly. One thing with his mechanics, see how his head is here. A lot of coaches will tell you don't stand up when you throw. I don't, when your head goes up, this is actually really cool. It makes your back foot get down. That's like that if you stay low, your back foot wants to take this huge hop up here and you go too far forward. So I don't mind if you guys work up a little as long as that back foot is getting down as soon as possible. Okay. All right. That was example number one. Throwing down can shift momentum and it gives you an out. Very simple, very effective. All right. Again, now we're going to go over Yankees. This is Austin Wells back there. Great catcher. This is in game three. Um, and again, each team has one win, win or go home. I can't stand the Red Sox. They're playing the Red Sox. This is a runner on third. We're going to play this through.
Great job behind the plate to block that one. Wells.
You see Wells uses the glove because that one's way out in front of home plate. And that's the toughest part for catchers.
Honestly, just an absolutely insane stop. Okay. Look how far off this plate this is. There's a runner on third. If you miss this, it's definitely on the pitcher for throwing it that poorly. But it doesn't matter whose fault it is because at the end of the day, that runner scores and now your team could lose or your team does lose. So you need to stop this at all costs. And he just kills momentum. So he goes here. He doesn't even, he sees it's such a hard ball that he keeps his mitt upside down and tries to navigate it with it and just like secure it. Beautiful. This is a scenario where you can do that. You don't have to turn the mitt over because it's that. Dude, look how far he spiked this out in front. Like, I bet Austin Wells saw it and was like, holy crap, that's going to go over my head. And he just secures it. So, beautiful stop here, guys. Kills momentum. Runner on third and second, I believe. And then they ended up getting out of this inning. And then the Red Sox ended up scoring, um, which was awesome. I think they got this batter out. So then you don't have Bregman coming up. These are little things, guys. Little things that make a huge difference, all because of what you're doing back there. So now blocking, perfect example of how that kills the momentum. Because that's a free base if he doesn't block that. And now the Red Sox are just, good energy. Let's go. We got Bregman coming up. Like, heck yeah. Nope, absolutely killed. All right. This, guys, this is Carson Kelly with the Cubs. Again, game three, win or go home. All these teams, all these catchers I'm showing you, their teams ended up winning that day. That can't be a coincidence. Their team ended up winning and going on to the next round of the playoffs. And small moments like this is why. Let's watch this one. This is going to be a receiving clip.
Next year, that is a helmet tap in a millisecond. That
One more time.
breaks it from.
That's so beautiful. So beautiful. 3-2 pitch. Padres were getting an inning going. Xander Bogaerts, great hitter. I think he's their like 3 hole. And all because you steal a strike and you stay calm. Good extension, pushes towards it, boom, grabs it, back into the zone, off by definitely a few inches, and they ring him up, dude. that is such a momentum shifter. Huge. And it's in Chicago, so the home team is building up that momentum. If he walks, everyone's going, "Oh, bummer." But instead, just because the catcher didn't give up on this pitch that's very, very low in regards of MLB terms, now Xander Bogaerts is throwing a fit. He's pissed. The manager comes out. This team has no energy, dude. Padres are doomed. No way. Like, right? Like, there's no way. All because of one catcher steals a strike. So powerful. Carson Kelly does it beautiful here. They get out of the inning, end up winning the game by a few runs. This stuff's real, guys. Okay, I'm not going through this whole spiel because it's like, oh, it's is a kind of a cool topic, whatever. Like, no, this is very, very important stuff. But keynote for all these catchers, they don't just talk about it. They don't like we don't just talk about it. Guess what they do? They actually execute. And where does that come from? It's what you guys are doing right now, improving your skills so you can execute. He does this well because he's worked on this pitch a million times, so he can do it so beautifully and trick the umpire to thinking that it was right there. Or Dylan Dingler threw him out because he's thrown down so many times and is so good at it that he'll actually get him. So you guys can't just be like, I'm gonna throw this guy out, yet you don't have the mechanics or pop time to back it. So then you're gonna hurt your team even more. So it's just as important to execute, guys. Or like Austin Wells with the block. Like he just blocks it. Okay. You just need to execute. You need to physically do it. Okay, so those are my three examples. I hope that's able to help you guys a lot or anyone watching this at any point. Again, you guys can control the momentum. It's like this energy that, you can't really see physically, but you just know it's there and you're like, uh-oh, big innings coming or things like that, or in a close game. Or it can even be the top of the first. You guys are out there and you're like, I want to send a message and start with the momentum on my side. And then now your pitcher walks the first guy to start the game, and that team's loud, and you're like, oh, okay, we need to shut that down. That comes down to you. So again, there's going to be a PDF below that I'm going to post that you guys can follow along with. That's the same thing framework I found, or you could just read that. But really look at those evaluations, watch more baseball, see what these catchers do, and thank you guys for listening.